Hello everyone. Today we'll be talking about, or at least trying to explore, before I start doing Nebula Distortion, or sorry, the Great Rift myself. I'll be looking through some of the merit rankings and see if there are things that I can glean or understand from this rotation's Great Rift through the merit ranking and the existing top players who do it. So here's my guesstimates for this rotation of the Great Rift. Because it has a weakness, or it has an element of both void and passion, I'd expect the key units here for the second team would be Hyde Marie and Diana. And then for the first team, it would probably be like, we might be seeing ADHD being used, but for DPS option, maybe Chizuru. But this is all like speculations at this point. Okay. Before we look through it all, let's see what this guy does in Hell mode. Oops. And the things that he can do. Okay, as you can see here, my best logs is nothing recorded yet. I'll be doing my own runs in my own personal time. But for now, I'd like to use this time to analyze and give you guys some insights in how I think the top performers do in this event for this rotation specifically. Okay, Punisher of Resentment. I can see why he's called the Punisher and of specifically Resentment. This guy has like a mace over here that looks like a sword. He has a spear thing. He has a small dagger or sword over here as well. This could be a club in the bottom left side. And then we can see how it looks. Personally, I think like Super Creative does really well is their monster designs. It really cares over really well on how they look and how they feel. But enough rambling. Here we look at. Okay, so first, Amplify Effect. Increases damage and extra damage amounts of Passion and Void characters. So here we're expecting units that with extra attacks to shine the best over here. So characters such as Renoa would be a really good option for Team 1. And then Hyde Marie with her Quietus and Link shenanigans would be really good in Team 2. Second bonus here, each time a card is discarded, so we really need to bank on the fact that we're discarding cards. Plus 5 damage amount to link cards, so it's specifically linked cards, huh? So this is what, additional 150% more damage? That's still a lot. That's a lot. And I'd expect that the damage increases throughout the entire battle, right? Decrease EP gain, so we're not able to use ego skills as well. Maybe partners too. This could be an issue if you're trying to do a combo. 100% isn't too much, but since we're using a lot of cards through Quietus and they're relatively low cost, I'm not sure how this would affect my gameplay. Plus 0.5% same season save data score bonus to final score. Maximum 6, so we'd get what? 3% more score, damage score. That's a lot, I think. Removes the stress that combatants receive when attacked during combat. So we only have to be wary about losing or dying in the rotations. Okay. There's a max ceiling to this amount of score that can be acquired from the damage amount inflicted by a single attack card. So this is what this is one of the important mechanics that we should really consider here, is that they're trying to limit the characters or the combination of teams that specifically deal infinite damage through a single attack use. So if we're thinking about units like Haru, she falls under this. So we're really banking on the fact that we need to play multiple cards or having multiple hits. No, but if it's a single multiple hit card, it'd still be negated. So maybe Chizuru isn't a good idea here. You will gain combat score based on the damage amount, and once you reach a certain threshold of damage, the score you receive in this manner will gradually be reduced. Okay, I see. So limited to 10 turns for the Vanguard, which is the first phase, and 5 turns for the Rear Guard. Turns leftover turns from the Vanguard will increase the Rear Guard's turn limit, max of 5. So if we killed the enemy in the first through the at least 5 turns, the carryover would benefit doing the rear guard if you're trying to max out the damage. Okay, so here are the rewards. This is unfortunate that I wasn't able to do this. I was quite busy. But hopefully it resets in a while. Every week. So we get some stickers. The most important thing, gems over here. And some units. Okay, I see. So, like I've said, okay. And don't forget, these are some restrictions over here. Here are my speculations, of course. First team Renoa would benefit a lot in this manner. Second team would probably be Hyde Marie and Cassius, perhaps, and Diana. So this is what I'm speculating the most used characters for this great rotation. Okay, first of all, jump straight to Master. Horo in the global server, surprisingly, is running Maribel and Narja with Veronica as a draw engine, I believe. Huh. Okay, I see. So what I think is happening here is we're playing counterattack Maribel. Oh no, we're not. Huh. Interesting. So we're playing. So what I assume happened is that we're using Veronica to build Resolve, which in turn increases damage of Maribel's Shelter Strike. Not to mention Narja here is built to increase. Oh, this is just a standard Narja with the added benefit of having draw 1. Interesting. So what happened here is that we're using Veronica as a draw engine with specifically doing resolve stacking, which makes Shelter Strike deal a lot of damage. Huh. Fixed damage amount to shields owned. Because we're gaining a lot of shields, I'd assume that it's going to deal a lot of damage. This is interesting. I like how in the first phase, this is the most... We could see there's almost no repeating characters, other than like Veronica, of course, for the first team. Second team. Hyde Marie, this is what we've expected. Running 4 Effulgent expansions. So we're playing... We're creating a lot of Effulgents and having draw. And then what I think is going to happen here is that on Effulgent Compression's use, once we have her ultimate skill, she just one-shots probably. So we're building like a huge amount of disposable Effulgent blades in the graveyard before we play the ultimate skill of Hyde Marie. That's what I'm assuming. We forgot to look through the gear, right? Dagger that tricked the shadow, so 12%. Apply vulnerable, wow, that's pretty good. And then there's a crit chance armor, as well as dormant shield. So we're getting more shields here. And then increasing damage by 30%. Interesting. Wow. Increasing action count. Action count. Action count. And then this is shield retention. Interesting. There's shield retention as well, right? Okay. I understand how they did the first team. They're playing around, stacking attack modifiers in such a way that on the use of all the cards and they're increasing the action count of the enemy, that's the only time when they're going to use Shelter Strike to deal a lot of damage. Because not only are you stacking all of those added benefits from the refinements over here of the gear, we're also stacking a lot of shields, which in turn is also affected by the resolve stacking. And then we're using that as a basis for increasing Maribel's damage. Interesting. Second team here, it's a standard Hyde Marie. But this is interesting where they're not playing for the multiple sword range. However, they're building a pool so they can use Effulgent release quite hard. Although this is max 30, right? So I think they just max it out, effulgent release, and then use their ego skill of Hide Marie. This is just standard Nia. Yeah, standard Nia. This action count bonus. So increase in damage amount, yes. This one I assume is action count. Wow, what a build. Quite lucky too. But it really helps that the save file editing makes it quite easier or more manageable to do these things. Dream World over here, this is unique. Or morale, so this is a morale stacking deck, huh? Interesting. Okay, this is what I've expected from what we talked about earlier, wherein potentially Renoa as well as Diana would be the prime picks as well. Okay, this is just a standard. Apply Quietus to all bullets, and then Renoa goes crazy. Magnus is here for shielding, right? And applying vulnerable. Interesting. This is the same case. Create 6 Effulgent Blades and then go crazy. Similar builds. Okay, here we've seen our first limited unit. Okay, this is standard homing laser spam. And this doesn't seem to be from the season's save data. So I'm guessing this is in Burning Life, I believe. Interesting. Because it's extra attack, Selena, or I forget her name sometimes. Bunny Girl benefits a lot here. Like applying Mark and then doing a lot of extra attacks helps the damage, especially with these. Because we're expecting Serenal to create a lot of homing lasers. Okay, here, ADHD. This is what I was thinking as well. ADHD as a main damage dealer. Or at least... Okay. So we're seeing here is ADHD being the more draw engine. Let's apply vulnerable. So we're applying blessing probably to the bullet generation of Diana over here. So Diana's most likely the DPS unit here. And we can verify it because she has this persona specifically. Interesting. What are the other interesting things? This is interesting as well. This is a straight up 9 with a very bare bones kit. Ironclad Hue. And then we're using... We're using Lucas for just gaining AP. Apply vulnerable, huh? Rita, I assume, is the best damage dealer here. No, but they're playing Rita as a morale stacker, vulnerable, and as well as draw engine. Interesting. Some of these combinations are interesting. Haru, Chizuru, Nina, and Rita. Okay. Wow. That's so interesting. Oh, we have a barrel enjoyer over here. Okay, it's a spore harvester barrel. Anyone interested? Oh, we get to see a rake. That's a nice deck. We're playing Secret Art Destruction. Wow. On 182. They didn't remove some of the cards, but this is important though for Dark Mist stance. Who creates the cards here? Oh, here. There's some inefficiencies in this deck, but still really good, no? But overall, we've been seeing like a trend wherein you play whoever you want for the first team, and then for the second team, it's just all Hyde Marie, Narja, Hyde Marie, Cassius, and Nia. Okay, this one is a melee. Interesting. There's a melee extra attacks. Okay, so now that we've looked through the things, how other people play, here are some things that I would suggest. Basically, first and foremost, we should play around the fact that doing this boss needs us to play around the mechanics, right? So the second team is quite straightforward. We're going to play. Oops. There we go. Second team is quite straightforward. We're going to have to play this. And where is Nia? Second team, if I were gonna choose, maybe I wanna run K run. But if we're gonna think about it optimally, it would probably be Renoa and Diana +1. Like this, for example, right? And then for save files, it's either we copy the Effulgent release deck, and then for Nia, it would still be like a draw deck or draw engine. Okay. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope that with all my ramblings, you guys get to see some ideas come up and how I try to approach at least these types of events. So that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.